Have you ever noticed how some attempts to appear sophisticated can have the opposite effect? Imagine someone buying an insanely expensive sports car, only to scratch the wheel on the curb at the first turn. That's exactly how some people try to impress. Too much effort, disastrous results. Remember Elizabeth Hurley's iconic black dress, held together by safety pins, which caused a sensation in the 90s? At the time, it was bold and innovative. But if someone tried to replicate that look today, they could easily come across as outdated or even forced. The line between elegance and excess is thin, and crossing it can turn an attempt at sophistication into over-the-top ostentation. A current example is how celebrities sometimes go too far in an effort to stand out. Recently, Lourdes Leon, Madonna's daughter, appeared at an event wearing a sheer jumpsuit that left little to the imagination. While some considered it daring, many saw it as an exaggerated attempt to grab attention, bordering on vulgarity. This proves that trying too hard to impress can backfire. And who doesn't remember marketing campaigns that went horribly wrong? Even renowned brands have faced this, like Victoria's Secret, which received global backlash for promoting outdated beauty standards. Instead of admiration, the brand ended up with a negative image. This teaches us that flaunting something dazzling without considering the current context can have the opposite effect. Now, think about social media, where people flaunt stacks of cash and photos reminiscent of 90s rap videos. The problem? Those who truly have wealth rarely feel the need to display it like that. Real luxury often lies in discretion and mystery. I'm Carol, a lover of beauty and a champion of authentic elegance. On my channel, Lucrative Elegance, we uncover the secrets to help you shine with genuine sophistication. If you want to turn your elegance into a profitable advantage, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit the like button. And to become a sophisticated traveler, check out my ebook, Travel Elegantly, Global Etiquette for the Sophisticated Traveler, available in the first pinned comment. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal 4 common mistakes that, while meant to impress, can sabotage your elegant image. One of them involves rented private jets and lukewarm champagne. Let's turn these missteps into valuable lessons. 1. The pseudo-luxury of intellectual superiority. Some people love to use complicated words and an unbearably condescending tone to seem intelligent. It's like holding a cheap champagne bottle and pretending it's Dom Perignon. But unlike champagne, which can still be consumed, excessive arrogance leaves a bitter taste no one wants to swallow. What do they actually achieve? Just a room full of eye rolls. Being truly intelligent is like owning a solid gold Rolex. It doesn't need to be flaunted, it shines on its own. But those with a plastic gold watch, or an opinion without substance, need constant validation to maintain their illusion. That's exactly what happens when someone tries to impress with elaborate speeches full of words they don't even know how to define. A Princeton University study on communication found that people who use overly complex language to appear smarter are actually perceived as less intelligent. The intention to prove superiority is as obvious as a rented private jet on Instagram. It only convinces those who want to believe. True intelligence isn't about what you know, but how you share it. So how can you do this without coming off as tacky, or worse, falling into the I'm better than you trap? The answer is simple. Real elegance doesn't need embellishment. A woman who truly owns her presence doesn't feel the need for inflated speeches or pretentious words to validate her intelligence. While some try to impress with overly fancy phrases, those with real substance captivate with authenticity. Think of Oprah Winfrey. She never had to seem inaccessible to earn respect. On the contrary, her direct and engaging communication built an empire. In the end, empathy and clarity are like timeless haute couture pieces. They speak for themselves and never go out of style. Ironic, but true. Invest in the market of ideas, but learn to differentiate a solid intellectual portfolio from a toxic vocabulary. You can say something profound, but if no one understands it, you're just talking to yourself. Brilliance isn't a luxury that screams. It whispers. It's like true haute couture, impeccable, subtle, and of course completely out of reach for mediocre minds. So instead of relying on arrogant speech, why not build your knowledge like a well-balanced investment portfolio? Diversify, have purpose, and above all, know when to share. The key isn't to look smart, but to be someone unforgettable. That, my friend, is true luxury. 2. Cardboard connections. Why claiming to know someone without proof is the ultimate faux pas. Have you ever met someone who insists they know celebrities but never provides any proof? It's like carrying a fake designer bag to an upscale brunch. At first glance, it might fool some, but up close, the deception is obvious. For example, I once knew someone who swore she was close friends with a famous billionaire, yet no one had ever seen a single photo, message, or any sign of their supposed friendship. Instead of appearing influential, she just came across as desperate. Social psychologist Amy Cuddy, in her book Presence, explains that people who exaggerate their social connections are often perceived as less trustworthy and competent. That's because the effort to seem important usually comes off as insecurity. The more someone tries to inflate their relevance, the more obvious it becomes that there's nothing substantial behind the words. Think of a fake diamond necklace. It may sparkle from a distance, but up close, it's just glass. The same goes for fabricated connections. The harder you try to prove what you don't have, the more reasons you give others to doubt your real achievements. The rule is simple. Genuine connections reveal themselves naturally. Authentic relationships are like a real Chanel bag. They don't need explanations. They're instantly recognized. Instead of name-dropping people who barely know you, share the collaborations and insights you've actually gained from meaningful connections. Take Beyoncé and Kelly Rowland as an example. They don't need to broadcast their friendship. It's evident in their collaborations and public appearances together. That's the difference between real connections and empty claims. Building authentic relationships is like curating a well-thought-out wardrobe. It takes time, effort, and investment, but the result is a collection that lasts a lifetime. Pretending to know influential people, on the other hand, is like buying a counterfeit bag, hoping no one will notice. In the end, it always becomes obvious, and the only one who loses credibility is you. So, the next time you feel tempted to say you know someone famous, ask yourself, what does this actually add? True wealth lies in the quality of shared moments, not in how many names you can drop. Real connections are quiet, yet priceless. Just like all things of true value, they don't require desperate proof. 3. Gym selfies. Between dumbbells and hashtags, where is the real strength? Have you ever noticed how some people seem more focused on lifting their phone than their actual weights at the gym? A study from Brunel University London found that individuals who frequently post about their workouts on social media often seek attention and validation, displaying narcissistic traits. This reminds me of someone I know who spends hours at the gym, yet her biggest concern always seemed to be capturing the perfect Instagram angle, rather than her own well-being. She racked up likes, but according to psychologists, this kind of behavior can reflect a deep need for external approval rather than true self-confidence. It's similar to investing in fake designer clothing. At first, it might impress, but over time, the lack of authenticity becomes clear. Likewise, constantly posting gym selfies can suggest insecurity rather than inspire confidence. Studies indicate that excessive social media exposure is often more about seeking validation than genuinely prioritizing health and fitness. So instead of focusing on the next post, maybe it's time to reflect on what truly motivates your gym sessions. Real strength isn't measured by how many likes you get, but by how you feel about yourself. After all, an elegant wardrobe doesn't need flashy labels to prove its value. The quality speaks for itself. 4. Single at 30. Celebrating freedom or hiding loneliness. Have you ever met someone who proudly declares their happiness in being single, yet it feels like they're trying harder to convince themselves than others? I once had a friend who constantly talked about how much she loved her independence, yet every weekend she would complain about having no one to go out with. It made me wonder, are we truly embracing our freedom, or are we just masking loneliness? Being single can absolutely be fulfilling. Psychologist Bella DePaulo highlights that single individuals often value their alone time, using it to reflect, relax, and nurture their creativity. However, some people turn singleness into a shield, avoiding deeper personal issues. That's why it's important to distinguish between genuinely enjoying your own company and using independence as an excuse to avoid relationships or self-reflection. Society often pressures us to define our worth by our relationship status. But being single at 30 presents unique opportunities, investing in your career, exploring new hobbies, and strengthening friendships. On the other hand, some women feel the need to justify their singleness as if it's a temporary or undesirable condition. This can create an internal conflict, a public celebration of freedom that masks private doubts and insecurities. The real question is, are we truly living our single lives to the fullest, Or are we creating a facade to hide our fears and dissatisfactions? Happiness should never depend on relationship status, but rather on the quality of the experiences and connections we cultivate, including our relationship with ourselves. Instead of using singleness as an excuse or a trophy, why not embrace it as a phase of genuine personal growth and fulfillment? Remember, true freedom lies in living according to your own values and desires, without needing external validation. Whether single or in a relationship, what truly matters is being at peace with yourself and making choices that genuinely resonate with your heart. Now that you know what makes a woman look showy instead of elegant, what actually makes a woman impeccably dressed without effort, avoiding style mistakes is important, but nailing the right details, that's what separates an ordinary woman from an unforgettable one. Think about this. You could be spending money on the wrong pieces, filling your wardrobe with clothes that look expensive but fail to create presence. Or worse, you might be overlooking simple secrets that can turn any outfit into something truly remarkable. Are your choices in colors, fabrics, and fits really working in your favor? To find out, watch the video, 4 Secrets of Well-Dressed Women That No One Shares. There, I reveal the tricks that effortlessly elegant women use every day. Those little details that make any look appear million-dollar worthy, even on a budget. And before you go, comment, "Less is more when there's strategy," if you enjoyed the video. If this video helped you see elegance in a smarter way, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll learn how to be truly elegant. And elegance always brings profit, whether in your social, professional, or financial life. To take your style to the next level, check out the first pinned comment where I've linked elegant wardrobe essentials that are truly worth the investment. Go take a look.